Sziasztok, Jadó vagyok. Közép-Európa első világra szóló podcast csatornáját hallgatjátok Magyarországról. Ez a Budapest.fm.
Hi, my name is Ray, and you're listening to the #1 podcast station in Central Europe, Budapest.fm, podcasting to the world from Hungary.
Please welcome the very talented Mr. Adrian Minkowicz.
Thank you. I am from Argentina. No one gives a shit. That's fine. Don't worry, I am not in the main section of the show. I am the diversity part of it. Diversity, integration, immigration part of it. You laugh, they don't deport me.
Hey, guess what? Adrian, how you doing, brother?
Oh, good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for hanging out, man. What's up, Will? How you doing, man?
Good morning, Ray.
Good morning.
It's amazing you've got me to be able to speak at this time of the morning.
You have such that...
I'm out of my comfort zone.
That sexy morning voice works every time.
It's fantastic. I love to hear it. 1 hour later, hi, how are you?
How's that breakfast there, Adrian?
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, we've been really unfair to Jody. You're meant to be having this nice, beautiful, relaxing Brody House breakfast overlooking the National Museum garden, and we're asking him to speak at the same time. Even be funny, maybe. No, but no pressure. No pressure.
Although now I'm thinking, oh, that's the National Museum.
Did you go get a chance to? You said you went out last night after the show.
Yes.
Great show, by the way. I just want to just
thank you.
applaud you.
Thank you. It was really a good lineup, good show. I think people had fun.
Oh yeah, people were going crazy about it, man.
Yeah.
I listening to your comedy last night, I was like, dude, you're funny, but it sounds like also that you kind of put people in check, in the audience, like really kind of let folks know.
Maybe that was a special event last night.
Especially last night, I was heckled by Argentinians and British people, which it never happened before.
Well, you're going to get onto the Falklands,
Exactly. Yeah, I called them Malvinas, but anyway. So it was funny. How that happened.
I thought you handled it very well, though. I thought you were very diplomatic in a sort of comedic sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want people to feel bad in a comedy show. If it happens, well, it happens. But it's not that I want to make
of course.
But it's true that my comedy sometimes gets that. Like people, they get pissed or something. They need to talk to me after the show, when I do the Fringe, for example, especially in the hour shows. Oh. Because I have the time to people. First of all, they come to see me. So whatever happens, it's like, it's your fucking fault. So you came to see. And I do more or less, they know what I'm doing. So then, people feel that they come and they... I know, I being heckled, we are all being heckled comedians. But sometimes I feel that people, they think that they can talk to me. Like, not really. That's kind of a trick of likability. But I want you to shut up.
Yeah. I'm engaging you, but only because you're a prop.
Exactly. You're furniture for me.
No, and I thought there was a moment, in the show when I think two of your audience forgot it was a comedy show.
Yeah. Like, well, the man in the first row, when he started discussing, someone from the audience said, "Dude, it's a comedy show." That he was so engaged.
Yeah,
but
I mean, you could have turned it into a whole debate at that stage. It would have been a good debate, actually.
But I would have done it. The thing is, I was talking about Malvinas, and he goes, "What about the wine?" I'm like, I don't know, what about the beer? I didn't understand the comments. I was totally out, like, what? Like, I think like you can answer if you think that is reasonable, but that thing
I mean, it's the first time I've seen someone in the audience of a comedy show want to get onto the balance of payments between two countries.
Yeah. That was great. It's like, really? It's the what about thing that they use the president. It's like, yeah, the war, but what about the hunger? What about hunger?
Anyway, you dealt with it. He came up to you and you had a good chat with him afterwards. And
And also, it was weird for me because I think we thought the same. Like I had this, especially with this Mateo Malvinas, I did it once at the Fringe, and next Solier, Scottish Solier, came to me after a show and he said, and everything because of two cunts. And we had a pint together, and we agreed. And this man, he agreed with that. He was laughing his ass off with that thing that I told him. So then I said, I should have said that on stage, and maybe you would have been happier. But even he said, I had a bottle of champagne in my fridge to celebrate the moment that Margaret Thatcher dies. So he said that. So then I was like, why are you heckling me?
Right. Yeah.
But some people, they don't wait to the end of the joke, right? Mm-hmm. They get pissed and worked out. And that happened with him, and that happened with the Argentinian girl. I said, if you let me finish, you won't be pissed at the end of this bit. But I think maybe we are, we don't have enough patience now, or we're a little intolerant. Fast, and we explode.
Their monkey came out, and they were like,
I think in this era
lost control of their monkey.
I love. Did you see Planet of the Apes, the last one?
I haven't seen. I probably saw. I saw the original. I think.
Because but the last one is. I have to say the last one. The last one is great. It's really good, and they have that metaphor. Like the guy, the main monkey that can talk and all of that. He talks about controlling the ape.
Right.
Like he's almost rational, but when he explodes, he reacts and he puts everyone in danger because he cannot control himself. It's these movies, I always take something that you can take.
There's a great book I read recently called The Chimp Paradox. I don't know if you ever. It's I can't remember the author. I can't remember the author off the top of my head. No, Stephen, someone or other. Anyway, sorry, I wasn't realizing we were going to speak about that. But no, the Chimp Paradox is a British author, and he's a guy that's trained a lot of Olympic sportsmen. He's a psychologist, basically, and this whole analysis of the human brain and how it works, and trying to get people to understand how their own brain works. And he starts by saying you've got to consider that you're actually two people inside your head. Your monkey, your chimp, give it a name. It's your very early day evolutionary brain, and your sort of modern rational self. And you've got to understand that you can't control your chimp. It'll just come out sometimes. But you can understand that it's there, and you can manage it and things like that. So I mean,
it's the same concept.
I could talk a lot about that book. It's a great book, but
right on, man.
The chimp inside you.
Chimp inside you. I have a few of those inside me, actually. Anyway. Where are you from initially? You're from Argentina, right?
From Buenos Aires.
Were you a comedian from birth, or how did you get into comedy?
That's a thing. Well, so I was saying drama for a long time. I was being an actor, and also I was saying playwriting. So I write theater too in parallel with this. I run a theater and dance company with my wife. It's called Human Works. And so
did I say, you said a drummer at the beginning? You were
drummer?
A drummer, did you say?
Drama.
Drama. Oh, I suddenly thought you and Ray had like a passion because he's
are you a drummer?
He's a drummer, percussion.
Ah, wow.
Okay.
Yeah. I play the guitar, but
you do?
No drums.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was imagining this comedy drummer there,
do you hear the one that... Exactly. You're like the worst comedian ever.
Well,
really progressive.
You never know. We see you in a couple of years on stage. You go, well, where did he get that idea from?
Well, normally at the Fringe, I experiment. I play banjolele in my show sometimes.
Yeah.
I have images because I am always in a cinema room, so I have a lot of freedom. I love that. But to answer really fast your question, I was working as a lawyer, and then
A lawyer?
at some moment, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was working as a corporate lawyer, so I was the devil.
A funny lawyer.
Yeah, sure.
You got 10 years. Oh, that's funny.
This is the result of all that pent-up frustration, right? It's all coming out now. If it wasn't for that period of being a lawyer.
Totally. It's okay. But then is why I don't take anything on stage, because like I did this big jump. I am not here to take shit from you. You have it all the time in your body. So, and at some moment, I don't know, in fact, I was going to leave Buenos Aires. I applied to do an LLM, like a master's degree, and I was accepted to do it in NYU. And I went to a meeting there, and it was raining, and I'm in that office. I was like, I cannot do this anymore. Okay. So I went to my room, and I translated 4 minutes of stand-up that I had at that moment, and I went to an open mic, and I didn't bomb, and then that's it.
Wait a minute. When you say translate, what does that mean? Like from?
It was from Spanish to English.
Wow.
So the first time ever that I did stand-up was in English. So that
my
was telling
goodness.
something.
In Argentina?
Yeah. In New York.
In New York.
In stand-up New York was that, Upper West.
Okay, so wait a minute. So you were a lawyer, and then you went to New York, and then that was your first time you did stand-up?
So I was working in a huge firm in New York, and then I was like, I will take 1 year to study, and then I was on my holidays, and I went to have a meeting in NYU, and then I did all of that. When I went back, I quit my job, and I started working as a lawyer, but with my own practice. And then I was doing comedy, and I was working as an actor in theater. And very soon I won a competition with my first hour of stand-up that they will give me a slot in a place called Foro Gandhi that doesn't exist anymore, that is in the Broadway of Buenos Aires, or Avenida Corrientes. And I did it there for a long time. It was fun. It was a great experience at that moment, it was one of the first guys to have an hour in Spanish.
Wow.
In Buenos Aires.
And is what do you prefer? What language do you prefer doing comedy?
English. Yeah, because I do it much more, and when I tour, I do it a lot. But it's true that even if I perform or I work all the time in Norway, in English, on TV, whatever, there's some freedom that you have with your mother tongue that it doesn't come. I feel really free in English, but I think I am more free in Spanish. Like normally, you see, there's something subconscious about the thing that yesterday. Well, thank you that you were saying that I handled very well the thing yesterday. And one comedian came to me and said, "Thank you so much." And I am open micer, and that was great how you handled that. And I'm like, it's stage time. It's of course that you learn things, but also it's about failing a lot on stage and being there, and then something learns. And I think that subconscious thing that you have so many years, so much time, hours, stage time, it comes easily when you're speaking your first language. Okay. That's my impression, like in a subconscious way. So now, after 8-9 years, more or less, so I think that I'm starting to have that freedom in English.
Right.
But at the same time, I think that also I'm changing my comedy right now. So it's
New York is not an easy place to get started in anything creative.
I know, and comedy is like being.
You had to be really good.
In China doing kung fu, you know, like, and they will hit your face a lot.
Yeah.
You like the metaphor. But But I think New York makes you a much better comedian. Like because it's so many possibilities of performing and having stage time. And then when you are going up in your career, you have a lot of people that are going up and they are the best in the game. So the pressure is constant. Yeah. I have already my love-hate relationship with New York. But I wouldn't be the comedian that I am without New York, and I wouldn't be the comedian that I am without the Fringe. Also, for me, the Fringe is exactly what we were talking about, the difference between radio and podcast and the long form. I think the French to give you the possibility to develop 1 hour.
Exactly.
Some comedians, they have the problems like I cannot write an hour per year. That's not my problem. I write a lot, like a lot, but because my head was in a particular way. But so I have the possibility, because I write a lot, that I can make 1 hour, a new hour show per year. And you get much better, I think, because of the training.
Yeah. I like your approach to comedy. You know, you remind me of a guy who I'm big fans of. He's out of New York. Greer Barnes, you know? Greer Barnes?
It's a friend.
Oh, he's a friend of yours?
Greer is a good friend.
He's awesome.
We go back, we see each other, and Greer goes, "Familia!" It's like that. Every time. No, an amazing comedian. Yeah. I don't know how many times I've seen Greer live. I never seen him bomb. He's amazing. He's great. Yeah. I really like Greer. He's a good human being.
Right on, man. So you're now in Budapest, and I don't know. Have you got a chance to see Budapest at all? Or?
Well, that is another thing that I have. I'm very obsessive. So yesterday I had to see everything in one day. I was like, I could relax now. So basically, if I have to think of that, I decided. Well, my birthday is in a couple of days. So
is it a serious milestone? Any zeros involved? Or
what
is it a serious milestone? Any zeros involved in this birthday?
Zeros?
Or zeros? Like
no. So the thing is, my mother is now in Norway, and she gave me some money and said, "Buy something for your birthday," because I am 7 years old. It's okay, yeah. I will never be a grown-up. Anyway, so, and I smoke pipe. I smoke tobacco pipes, and I like to buy pipes. So I one of the things that I did when I was checking was like pipe shops. I wasn't checking about going to a thermal bath or the chain bridge. I was like, where is the pipe that I can buy? So, and I realized how stupid it looks when I am even typing the things on the computer. Like one voice is out like... and I did. The first thing that I did yesterday when I went out was I went to the pipe store and I bought a Hungarian pipe, tobacco pipe, and then so that's my birthday gift. And then I had this pinch in my back so I went to a thermal bath at Rudash. I love that. I was there for 3 hours. Wow. But I was walking so even inside the thing I couldn't relax. So I was going to one pool and to the sauna. I love that. Then I started walking in the Danubius and I went to the church. Then I went to the fisherman monument. Okay. Yeah. Then I was going back. I was like, whatever. I go to the shoes in the Danubius. So I go left. And then I said, well, I will rest a little now.
Did you walk all this?
I walked all.
Yeah, that's a big walk.
I walked all of that. I saw the basilica. I saw every monument. I think the House of Terror. Someone I said yesterday, that is the House of Horrors. Not the House of Horrors. The House of Terror.
Oh, you went through it?
No, I just checked it out. Yeah. No, I didn't have the possibility to enter in the...
we didn't go into any of these buildings. You just passed them.
I was thinking like, a picture, and I say, see bitches, I'm in Budapest.
Yes. Instagram.
But then that just going back to that New York, how did you then end up in Norway? What was the accident that got you there?
So I met my wife in Buenos Aires dancing tango.
Ah, yes.
If you want a little more cliche than that. And so she was working for a big dance company. She's a choreographer and dancer in Belgium. So at that moment, we developed a project together and we started trying back and forth to Brussels. At some moment, we got married. And but the story with Norway is a little longer, I think, because we started living there maybe 1 year ago. It's because she got a job offer there from the Conservatory of Arts, and I got a job offer from NRK, from the BBC of Norway, to do this political satire TV show.
At the same time?
More or less at the same time.
That's great fortune.
That's fantastic.
Your stars were aligned for Norway entirely.
So that's why we moved our base. So I've been traveling back and forth from New York, from the US like you, but with LA, with New York, for 7-8 years now. But my base in Europe was Brussels, and now it's Oslo.
And how's Oslo treating you?
I like it. I like it. I thought I certainly, and I don't see myself living here for a long time. But now I really like it. It's really different. Also, it's nice. New York is a grinder. It's all the time. You're at 100% all the time, and it can be really tough. So going back to Oslo, also I have a daughter. I have a 5-year-old, and it's amazing.
Must be great for a family.
Yeah. Everyone has kids, and it's kind of fantasy land in a way in Norway. They have their problems and all of that, but I discussed for a long time with Annelien, with my wife, telling her, look, the world is like I am telling you it is. It's not like Norwegians think that the world is. That's fantasy land. That's something else.
And do you use that in your comedy in Norway, sort of letting the Norwegians know that? I mean,
100%. 100%. I had 2 shows in a club called Rick's in Bergen last week, I think, or 10 days ago. I don't know. And I talk about that all the time. And of course, that I try to apply to the differences and all of that. But it was fun that when I arrived to Norway, they told me, you can make jokes about almost anything here, which is true. You can make abortion jokes, rape jokes, whatever you want, but don't joke about cross-country skiing.
You did that, and that was a big fall, was it?
What? It's like, cross-country. It's like, I was like, okay, thank you for making my life easier. So I went to a show. I was like, I will cover the national team. And now one of those guys hates my guts. But
well, yeah. I mean, what would you? I actually love cross-country skiing.
Well, the thing is, do you know? Yeah, the thing is that do you know about the problems with the asthma medication in cross-country skiing in national teams? So basically,
the drug taking.
Now it seems exactly. Yeah. So now it seems that everyone is asthmatic in the teams, especially in the Norwegian, but I mean in all teams, and in different ways they take asthma medication in different graduations. So basically, it's really easy to have a certificate from a doctor saying that you're asthmatic, because also it seems that when you train at that height in that circumstances, it's easier to develop something like that, like a condition. But at the same time, there are different types of reports that said you don't have an advantage if you have this medication, if you don't have asthma, and if you have asthma, it's not an advantage. But I mean, that is a reason why everyone is asthmatic in the teams, even if they went before. And then, so there's a big thing about that. And I was joking a lot about the asthma.
Maybe are you sure they're not?
Oh, now I can ski. I don't get tired. Of course, this is not an advantage. Come on, guys. Come on. How many times I have to hear about Maradona saying, great player, but I'm sorry. But Coke doesn't make you a better player. In fact, Maradona has a great phrase that's like, do you know the player I would have been without the cocaine? Which is true. But if you are running long distance and you are having asthma medication, it's like, well, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, it's at least weird. So, I did a bit. Last year, I went to cover the World Cup in Austria, in Seefeld. And I went to the international conference with the national team. And I asked one of the oldest players, can you tell us about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in Manchester United? And they're like, you want me here to talk about football? Yes, and he had to talk. And then I asked him, what was your favorite individual gold medal? He tells me, none of them. And I'm like, oh, I know. And then the coach approached me and said, he said that because in 15 years, he never won individual in an Olympic game. Or no. I'm like, oh, I didn't know. I fucking knew. That's why I made the question. And he was so pissed. And he called the network and said, I won't give you any more interviews. And the team won't give you any more interviews because of this fucking Argentina. He was so pissed. The next day, he wins the first individual goal.
What?
Wow. So yeah, so he won
And he
his-
doesn't dedicate that to you.
Exactly. He wants his first half gold medal. The other half is mine.
Well, he's listening. If he's listening to this podcast right now, do you have a message for him?
Yeah. Well, no, I think we finish our story. It's not inconclusive because then we in Norway was this famous race, and I chopped one gold medal, and I went to the conference again. I said, "Thank you for sending me the half." But that show was about nationalism. So I asked him, you in this country full of your countrymen, now Martin, and we did it with Rocky music. It wasn't there, but now in this country you have to answer, are you a man or are you a... He never forgave me that. Anyway, we are kind of hardcore in this show.
Yeah, it does sound like you've taken on the cream of Norwegian athletes in your comedy.
Pretty much. But then the thing is that they feel that they are princesses, but no one knows them. You know, like Messi cannot walk anywhere in the world.
Right.
They leave Norway and maybe Sweden. I don't know. But then it's like, come on, relax.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
no one can.
Well, this is his
don't want to
bubble you were
talk
talking
them.
about, right? Okay, this
Sorry?
bubble, this Norwegian bubble.
Yeah,
Right,
for sure.
you know,
yeah, it is. But that said, I think that Norway is a country that works. Like for me, that is not good as a comedian because I'm kind of in the love period, you know, like we are knowing each other, we are fucking really well. I don't see your defects. You know? It's like, oh, you're amazing. No, you're not. You have your problems, but the problems are different. I think they have different type of problems because, for example, the last election was about tolls in the highways. We don't want to pay for tolls, and there are people where like, you should pay for tolls, and you don't pay. That was a whole election, and yeah, it's kind of a sweet problem. You know? Like they don't have this like poverty and hunger and inflation and
no jobs or you know.
Yeah, but I think that you have to give it to Norwegians. I think. I am always
and their
obsessed.
oil reserves.
But this is the thing. But this is it's a fantastic point in history for them. I think it's true. They found oil, but then when the moment arrived, imagine all the oil companies coming to their necks. Saying, I want to do this. I want to do this. And the guys, they were, nah, we will do it. And they were like, but you don't know anything about doing this, which they were right. It's like, we will learn. And that's why now they are billionaires.
Yeah.
Because someone took the ethical and moral choice of saying, this will be the better for everyone. Because also I can imagine how much money they offered to that person to sign with any of their companies.
Yeah.
In Argentina would have been, welcome, Exxon. Bienvenidos a la República Argentina. It's about how you are also, you know, and they are quite, I think in the UK, United States would happen the same.
Yeah,
you know?
no doubt.
But I mean, and it's amazing how those people, 1, 10, 20, that they took the decision, they changed their history forever. Now that's a fund is the biggest fund of any country in the world.
Yeah, that sovereign fund. Yeah, and it's managed quite well as far as So I can see from very far away.
It's another country, but also I think that what we were talking about the ape before and the monkey and controlling your thing. I think they're very well adjusted control people. Yeah? That you don't, it's not easy to see someone Norwegian exploding or something like that. Like even I am very passionate at the office, for example, and if at any moment I'm like, it's really highlights because no one has that hot blood, you know. But
Has that got you into trouble in Norway at any time? The Latin hot blood.
I think at least in the show it's like, it's Adrian.
Okay, right.
It passes by, but
That's what we're
but also I
paying.
don't have it a lot. You know, I used to have it much more, and then I think I don't know. I was saying the other day, maybe I'm being too European because I go there and someone, for example, in the restaurant, someone is speaking louder, and I'm like, ugh. And it's like, why? He's speaking. But sometimes you feel like, I want peace and quiet. Hi, can I have my egg boiled? Thank you.
You know,
Yeah, well, you shouldn't spend too much, keep the balance. Keep the balance. You got to spend some time back in Buenos Aires.
Yeah, totally.
how often do you go back home?
Normally, I used to go once a year.
Okay.
But now I'm bringing much more my mother to Norway, so I'm going a little less because I travel here much more. But I love to go there. When I go there, I start performing again in theaters. I do sometimes a TV show. I coach professional comedians. I give like master classes, and I love to do that.
What's the, you said you were a writer in theater. Do you see yourself going into, do you want to get into like, I don't know, writing comedy as far as movies or film or that sort of direction, or you kind of?
Well, that's a good question. In the States, I am freelance for a company that writes material, humorous material for radios for all around the country. So I do, and then in Spanish, I write theater. I'm a published playwright, and sometimes also I do comedy. I love movies. I know sometimes it's difficult to think of not ideas, but to sit and write those 120 pages or whatever I have to write. And I write so many things all the time. But normally, if I sit to write long form like that, when I'm writing my next Fringe show. But if that happens, I will write a play.
I see.
And normally I wrote many plays. In fact, 2 years ago, I was doing material about Malvinas, similar to this one that I was doing yesterday. And at the same time, they premiered a play that I wrote about 2 soldiers dying in Malvinas, but it was a drama, and in Buenos Aires. So basically, I was talking about the same topic in the 2 countries that they had the problem, the UK and Argentina, and I felt very proud about that. But yeah, sure. I think I could write eventually a script. I see myself more writing TV.
TV. Okay, gotcha.
Do you see yourself as what you're saying, and it sounds like the makings of an early sort of Ben Elton type character, where you can dip into all of these different formats, and you can write, you can do stand up, plays and TV and books and things.
Yeah, I don't know if it's an advantage. I think that it happens to me, and I don't try to stop it. But sometimes, if you are too diversified, you are not king of anything. But normally, I think everything is comedy in that sense. It's more difficult for me to write drama, and I can write many things. But if I start writing a play, literally a play with character, I cannot write anything else.
Yeah, you got to focus on that entirely.
It's not only that; it's my head changes.
Right.
There are too many voices.
Uh-huh.
That's how it works. So for me, that is very energy consuming. Like if it's the only thing that I can do. So normally when I write a play, there's a workshop in Buenos Aires with different theater writers, script writers, many different people, performers, and we all write our material and we give feedback to each other. And that develops in 2 or 3 months, you have something. So that's the way that I like to do that. But if I do that, I cannot do anything else.
But I mean, isn't that a good balance to have? Because I mean, I can imagine being a comedian, doing this stand-up, like getting that pitch fatigue, that stage fatigue or whatever. And if you can then switch into something completely different immersively, then that can refresh you on the other hand.
I think change always helps you. But I think the fatigue that you're talking about, I think mainly comes when you don't change your material. And that happens the same with an actor. When there are many comedians that they develop for many years an act, and then they repeat that act for a long time. And some people, that comes in an easier way for them. And some people, you start seeing that looks a little tired. So in my external eye, I never know if you are seeing that I am tired of telling that joke, or I am tired of telling it, and then I'm thinking that can reflect in the audience. In any way, you start being tired of your material, and you should change it. That's the thing, and I like to do that. Like yesterday, I did, I think, maybe 7 new minutes of the thermal bath and
absolutely,
and I was talking with
and actually that was really when I was listening to that, I was like, this is all new. He's made this up now. I mean, this isn't like
2 hours.
This
ago.
is 2 hours. This is fresh. This is almost like you just chatting with us. So it felt very real. Felt very honest. Felt very new. There was something special about that. You can make that happen.
Thank you. No, but also it was happening for me. It was so weird, especially the guy when I was lost in the thermal bath, and I was like, how can I get to a rooftop? Why rooftop? I don't know. There's a negotiation going right now. I wanted to check it out.
People that have ever gone to a thermal bath.
I loved it. I was like, oh, thank God you're sending me this.
Speaking of thermal baths, Will, is there a thermal bath that is where you can go nude?
It's like I'm the authority on nude thermal baths in Budapest.
Well, I had never.
I was just in Austria, actually. We just went on a little, just after New Year, needed a recovery from the Brody House New Year's Eve party. And we went to Austria for a couple of days skiing, and we ended up, and we're like, oh, we got to have a spa as well after the skiing. And we ended up in this nice spa in sort of this rural Lower Austrian town, and of course in Austria it's all naked entirely, and so.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like this sort of, and then they're very particular.
In fact, I have to say that I was a little put out like you are naked right now, but now I got used to it. It's fine, man. If you like it, it's like, I won't discuss your religion.
But in Budapest, in Budapest there isn't that. There's this great spa culture, but there isn't the sort of have to get naked.
Well, there are rules in the thermal bath. Yesterday I saw that they were saying no naked people. Like there are signs inside the thing saying you cannot be naked.
Where's this?
Rudash.
Okay.
Yeah, and you go 400 kilometers west, and that turns on its head. You will be naked. You will be naked, otherwise you leave.
Well, yesterday they use these things. I don't know. Maybe this is interesting for people. I don't know your audience, that they have this very weird kind of like white cloths,
modesty belts, whatever it's called,
something like that. And you put it. But then the thing is a rule: if you sit on a wooden bench, you cannot sit with your ass to the wood, so you have to put the fabric there. So then you have your dong out. And people are like, hi, hello, how are you? Like, a long time I don't see you. And the dong is like, bang, bang, bang. It's like, it's too much for me, man. I will have my swim shorts. Thank you.
Well, that would be a problem for me because mine is not a dong, it's a dong.
Well, all right.
All right, then.
Beach shorts. Long beach. That's why they invented them, didn't they? That's why you're asking me this question.
Well, no, it's very good.
It's like
you don't have these problems that I have. You like to be naked and people don't realize that you're naked?
So Ray goes everywhere. He's like that. He's like I'm saying a famous person, like, oh, can I speak to you? Can I speak to you? I don't get that. I'm like, why talk to me?
Oh, look, it's that guy.
I don't know if you've noticed the cards that we have actually on the table.
We haven't told Adrian about this yet, and we thought it'd be an opportunity to him to continue eating his boiled egg.
Yes, of course, please.
But,
crack the egg, please.
Crack the egg open. Maybe he's looking at it like that's going to be dangerous. But there we go.
I'm trying to get the sound.
We're going to see how he eats his boiled egg while I explain. We've got 2 piles of cards actually on the table. It's a little experimental, this, but we'll see what happens. And one is called Confessions, and it comes with a dice or a die or no one, and the other.
So you have to die.
Yeah.
First, like with the dice, die.
And the other is a pile of called the 100 questions, random questions. Now, of course, you don't know what they are. So, what sort of with the confessions you've got when you roll the dice, you've got 6 categories, and they are money, career, relationships, family, sex, and a wild card. And so you can choose. Well, the dice chooses for you when you roll, and then you have to answer the question that comes up.
Okay.
Now, so are you feeling adventurous?
I already know I will lie. So. I am quite calm.
So what do you fancy more? A question from the pile, or do you want to roll the dice? Do you feel like rolling the dice this morning? Is that your kind of day?
Whatever. I will roll the dice. Yeah.
You roll the dice.
Looks like a nice dice.
Okay. So I'm gonna pass the dice over to you. You get a roll. Well, I've got raised sound
That's
effects.
beautiful.
Where did you get that sound effects from?
I don't know if that is real or I am on LSD. You know? Okay, I roll.
Okay, he's rolling the dice. He's rolling the dice. It's on career, right?
Wow.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the career pile. I'm picking up the career question, and it says, "What have you failed to achieve?"
That's difficult.
I mean, it's not as if you're at the end of your career, though, is it?
Yeah. It's like
This is something you could remedy. If you were 90, that might be a more pertinent question.
Yeah, like where did you fuck up? I don't know. I am doing literally. I think I'm very lucky. Like I'm doing everything that I want to do right now. I have like good jobs, and I want to. What? Yeah.
You don't feel there is any failure because you can still achieve it. I mean,
Exactly.
You're on the path.
Yeah. That's the thing. Also,
I think it was a bad question for you.
Roll the dice again.
Oh, this is the question mark. So you can choose from any of the categories.
What is the red?
Sex.
Yeah, go for it.
Of course, the Argentine's going to pick the sex question. Okay, from the sex category. Who do you dislike, or even maybe hate, but still find sexually appealing?
Repeat that question?
Who do you dislike, or maybe even hate, but you still find sexually appealing?
It has to be someone famous, or
No, not necessarily. I mean, could be a dog or something, I don't know.
Or a lie?
objection, Your Honor. Leading question. These are weird questions.
Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to give one pass.
I would say this, like, I don't hate a lot of people, but I find a lot of people sexually appealing. So basically,
I think that's a good answer. Yeah, very good. Yeah, we like that. I must say that there's been no preparation. He hasn't gone through and read these cards yet. So you are on the spot here. We are testing you.
Okay, which ones are the other three? I answer of 2 piles.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you've had someone from sexes, relationships, family, and money. So
we go relationships.
Relationships. One from relationships. Okay. No, we won't ask that one. In case your wife's listening. Yeah, I think a beautiful family. We won't jeopardize that.
How many women did you fuck last night?
Okay.
None.
Okay, this is maybe who is the person you've treated the worst in love in the past?
Oof, that doesn't have only one answer. Wow, many people, because I I think I had a lot of, before meeting my wife, I had a lot of, I couldn't commit. You know, it's not new for men. I think I'm not being super creative.
That's a DNA quality.
And so and I had my fair.
What a very unusual.
Now everyone started fucking lying. Oh, really? Commitment, is right? Oh, I want to marry every woman I meet. I think I had my fair share. And a lot of women, maybe they were hurt or something like that. It's not that they were, but I met nice people, and maybe because of my lack of being able, to be present in the moment. So
flighty. Well, now you're nailed down.
Exactly. But I think that is also a moment, because you had your life and you did many things, then it's a moment that's like, okay, that's it for me. It's like I have it out of my system. I want to go in the other thing.
There's no bigger commitment than 2 children. Well, there is. There's 3, but that's cool to see.
I can. You say, who was the words? And a lot of images are popping up in my head. I know, but I could ask for forgiveness to many people.
Okay, we've got money and family left.
You got time, right? How's that time for you?
And it's
you're good.
fine.
Okay, good. I know you got that flight to catch. So I don't want to.
Family.
It's like the fairy godmother's delivering you something.
That LSD is strong.
What do you wish you could ideally tell your father?
Oof.
Wow.
Yeah, my father died, so that.
Well, he didn't know. He didn't know that. Very. That's heavy.
It's fine. It was some years ago. I think. Well, my father died of cancer, so he had many years the disease. It wasn't kind of a surprise. So I was. I think I'm quite an immature person, but I was mature enough to be able to tell everything that I wanted to tell him.
That's great.
How old were you when he passed away?
20, in my 20s, early 20s.
Early 20s. So you sort of reached adulthood.
Yeah.
Just.
That was it. And he saw me being a lawyer, but in a way he didn't see me being a comedian, for example.
Right.
But we had that thing that we were talking, and I was telling him, I promised that I will have my degree to both my parents. And then I said, but I am done after that. Like, this is my life.
Because that was what they wanted. That's what he
yes,
wanted.
They wanted. They were like, we want you to be a lawyer.
They
don't have degrees, any of them.
Right.
So they went like, we want you to have a degree, and I think it was fair, but it also was more formal profession. That it was a degree, but it's not like I could say I will study music. It was more like go to something serious and not. Anyway.
It's like a way in which they feel that you're safe. They've got you to the point where all else fails. You can be a lawyer.
But parents, I think they always want that, or we always want that. But then you can only know what is happiness for you. So basically, I told them, it's like, I am out, and maybe I won't do this forever. And they were like, yeah, because I was a really good law student, and then I had a really good job as a lawyer. But I was talking with him permanently.
But he had no idea that you had comedian and writing.
Because maybe comedy, because at that moment I was saying more drama. Mm-hmm. But clearly I was telling him I want to write.
Right.
I don't see this as my, and he was like, right.
Yeah.
Literally, because he was seeing also that duality, dichotomy between what you are doing and what you want to do, and
any of that came from your parents, that creative flair of that free thinking, or I mean, do you think that your mother or your father didn't have an opportunity to explore those avenues?
Yeah, I think the creative path. No, I don't think so. None of them. I think No, for me, it's kind of a mystery, the creative thing that I feel really strongly forever. But it's more the imagination that I cannot stop since I was a kid. For example. But no, they were workers. My mother is like, she was staying at home and taking care of me. And my father has a pharmacy, and for many years. The creative part is not coming from there. I have an uncle that he's famous in Argentina and kind of in the Pampas, Santa Fe, and he sings and he plays the guitar and he lives in the middle of a farm with the cows and he dresses as a gaucho and all that. And that was with me, like part of my life. Like if I would say, I always, when I was growing up, I was seeing how cool is that someone pays you to see different places and meet different people.
Yes.
And then at the same time, I was seeing that it was really normal. I was surfing a lot in Brazil. And I was seeing that a lot of people from Europe, they were coming to South America for 6 months. And I was like, why we cannot do that? And I'm like, because we are poor.
That could be a problem.
And I always challenged that. I always challenged the thing of they were telling, but you can be a lawyer and a partner, and then in 15 years you will be able to travel. I was like, why?
Right.
And I always was the kind of person like, why? I will fight this. It's like, that's not my life. That's not who I am. So normally I tend to trust and to jump and believing that the net will be there. And trying to change your life. But if you go really in short steps all the time, you will never be able to do something like that. When people ask me, how do you make the jump from lawyer to comedian or to theater? It's like, because I'm crazy. Once that you have a good job, there's no other way. I felt that if I wasn't doing the change there when I didn't have kids, I didn't have a wife, I didn't have anything, I will never do it again. So
but in a way, being a lawyer and saying I've done that, it gives you the confidence to say, because you can always go back. You can if it doesn't work. So in a way, maybe that gave you that base, that confidence to say, okay, I can take this risk.
Oh yeah. Well, you're right in that sense. At some moment, that is completely true at the beginning. But then when you start not working as a lawyer, and first of all, I love my life, so then you don't want to go
lifestyle
back there.
Change.
Yeah. But then I think law requires for lawyers to be trained all the time in the last law, in what is interpretation, in what is
current,
especially what I was doing M&As and contracts. The contracts, they change a lot, how you structure an operation. So you lose touch with that. But for sure. And also I think that the lawyer never disappears. It's like being on the dark side. You're always there. For example, my last show, I performed at the University of Cambridge, and then a professor saw it. It's like, oh, maybe we could do something with this, that a bigger research or something, because I'm writing again the second part of that show, and I think that is related also that I taught philosophy in law school and things like that. So everything I think works and some way.
Bounces off each other.
I think that's a nice part of comedy or stand-up comedy. Like we are that, no? If you are being honest in any part of your life and what you think, it comes on stage. It's what you were saying yesterday. Thank you very much. That thing of, you were sharing something. Yeah. It was fresh and it was now and it was real. Because it's your life. That is maybe the craft, no? Is to be able to give a vehicle something that you are feeling at that moment.
No, absolutely. Well, that's
what are the
insightful.
big cards?
Thank you.
Brilliant mind.
Oh, so we're going to have a wish, you have a wild card. I tell you what, I'll fan them out for you. This is and you can pick one from anywhere, because then you don't think I've loaded it with the top card.
Okay.
Pick a card.
So picked a card from the middle of the
questions.
deck. This is one of the 100 questions for yourself. What does it say?
For you. Oh, wow. That's a good question. For you, what would be a good death?
A death. What would be a good death?
I think I will go.
I got an answer.
Yeah, go for it. For me or for you?
For me.
Okay.
Roadkill.
Roadkill. You want to be run over, Ray?
Yes, just like one of
But
the,
okay,
You want to be
instant,
hit by...
instant, or you are alive after the car passes by.
kind of twitching a little bit afterwards.
Does it have to be a particular
story.
vehicle, or is it a big one, or like one of those small electric pod cars or something, where it sort of just clips you on the knee?
Something that would get the most publicity.
You know that when I was filming a documentary in China some years ago, and I was in an artist residency, and one of the things that was happening in that moment that they were making a lot of performances was about roadkills, because the thing is, see, the lawyers can. So when someone dies, you have to send indemnization to the family, right? But if you don't die, you're like, you cannot. You have your indemnization, and the indemnization will be much higher, because you are suffering. So because of suffering, you will have to pay much more to that person. So basically, what was happening in China is that you were seeing there were accidents.
Oh, we got Dave. Dave just opened the door right in the middle of Adrian's story. Dave, come and sit down and join us. He's wheeled his bag in and everything. He's ready for the airport.
Yes,
Dave Thompson.
Dave Thompson.
Welcome.
Legend, Tinky Winky, writer, stand-up comedian, actor. Dave, we'll let you put your things down. Come and join the table. And Adrian, why don't you carry on with your Chinese indemnity story?
So basically, what was happening at that moment, there were a lot of accidents where people were checking that there were the track of the in the streets, that the car hit someone, and then it went back and hit again, and then it went forward and hit again the person to be sure
They're dead.
that they were dead.
Crikey.
So a lot of people were, of course, talking about that, and
But there's also this thing that I saw in China. People started had to put a lot of cameras on their dashboards and stuff, because people were throwing themselves onto the windscreens, pretending to fake this.
Really?
Yeah. Did you see those?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. And so you're driving along, right? This is always happening in China. You're driving along, and you stop at a pedestrian crossing or something like that, and a guy will run up to you and throw himself on your car and headbutt your window. Head your windscreen.
Wow, yeah.
And in this attempt to say that you got run over, and then you get all these indemnity claims.
In China, if
So
you have
people
ever been there, it's wild.
Mexico,
It's wild.
a friend of mine, that happened in Mexico, actually.
Oh, wow.
There was a group of friends that went over to cross the border, Tijuana, and they were hanging out in a van, and sure enough, this guy pulls in front of them and, gets hit by them. And a police officer all of a sudden comes out, arrests everybody, puts them in jail. He was in jail for the whole weekend, basically, in a Mexican jail, and they had to be bailed out in the whole nine. It was a whole scheme.
Did he tell you the truth of what happened there?
he was like,
He told me one part I'll never forget. He said that there was this big pile of shit that was literally in the corner that everybody was taking a shit in, really. And he said that when he was leaning, he didn't want to sit down or anything. He kind of wanted to just stand there and just be in one corner and not touch anybody. But one time he kind of got a little tired and leaned up against the shit, and it kind of cracked a little bit, causing the fumes of the shit in the middle to open up.
Shit, this sounds horrible. Tourism in Mexico, they're not.
But to answer your question, I think good.
Yeah, we've got the question for Dave. Sorry, Dave, we had this question that came from the random pile. For you, what would be a good death? So Ray wants to get run over, and Adrian is yet to tell us.
I think I wasn't going to get creative. I think a good death is on stage. I think, if you die on stage, I think it's kind of like insane. No?
Right. Yeah.
That's a good death, dying on stage.
As a performer, no?
Yeah, I think for a performer it could be.
Well, it's good that in you. Oh, I see what you mean. Dying actually for becoming dead on stage. I thought you meant just dying in front of an audience.
Oh yeah, no, not.
No, dying and killing. No, a proper death. Like how would you die?
End of your life, not end of your career.
Ray wants to be a roadkill.
Roadkill, I think, would be nice.
Be killed by a car.
You must be run over. Yeah,
animals, kind of roadkill kind of thing. I figured I'd just join the.
I think being shot in the back of the head without my knowing it.
That's your ignorance is the best way. Yeah.
Well, in Budapest, I think that would be Budapest style in a way. I think yesterday I was walking around and I had the Mission Impossible soundtrack. I felt so good. And then, but this is a beautiful city. I'm really impressed about the city. And then I was taking so many pictures of streets that no one knows. I think that they're little streets and the lighting was perfect. Everything is like, of course, that they're filming a lot of things.
It had that moody, melancholic winter feel.
I was checking the movies that they filmed here. It's like, Mission Impossible part was filmed here, but also Woody Allen movie was filmed here.
There's a lot of films here. Yeah. Dave's been up for some of them.
I've got one for today, actually. I've got an audition today, for Van Helsing.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a TV show now, no?
I think it's a TV show, yeah. But I haven't actually got a Hollywood film yet, but I'm hoping I will.
Keep working on it.
But
We're in the right environment for it.
This one's Van Helsing, the TV show, filmed in Slovakia, playground casting.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Dave, did you sleep well?
I didn't sleep as well as I could have done.
Sorry, Dave, it's actually my fault. Dave, we planned to be at 10:30. He planned to come, so we kind of woke him up out of a nice.
He was still on his UK
deep
time.
sleep. Yes.
Yeah. No, I thought it was 10:30 we were meeting, and I haven't actually had a cup of coffee.
Yeah, we'll get you a cup of coffee.
Okay?
Definitely.
I can get,
of course.
I can get a
Yes.
cup of coffee for you, Dave. Should I do that?
Oh no, because I was going to get some breakfast as well.
Oh, okay. But so before Dave goes and gets bread, just want to say thank you for bringing Adrian here.
Definitely.
It's very, I mean, you do a sterling job in bringing all these fantastic, funny, amazing people to Budapest, which is your second home.
Yeah, I am very lucky to get people.
And
like this.
I just want to say thank you for bringing us all these laughs all the time. And
thank you.
And Adrian, no exception on that.
And I had the greatest time here. I was saying that, and hopefully I will come back soon.
Yeah.
We do. You do. Yeah, you're not far away. You're only a Norwegian flight away.
No, yeah. I spend more or less half of the Norwegian flight. Don't let me start.
No, we won't go on that.
Shitty company. No. But I'm half of the time in the US, but the other half I tour around. So Dave also you tour and you perform a lot around.
All right.
No, please come back soon.
Dave, how did you both meet? Did you guys work together? Or?
We worked together in Prague.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only time we've ever met before was in 2016 in Prague, and I didn't even see you perform.
Yeah, no, true.
Yeah,
true.
We just met in the hotel.
I thought you did, but you didn't.
No, I didn't. No.
And we were both headlining different days.
Yeah, that's why we didn't see each other. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, very cool, man. Well, how can people find you on social media?
Normally I do more Instagram. Is at Adrian Minkowicz. That would be ADRIAN. MINKOWICZ.
Yeah.
Adrian Minkowicz. But if you put Adrian and the fur, Mink, it comes. Adrian Minkowicz.
Is that a sort of Czech name originally?
Polish.
Polish.
But my grandfather was saying that he was Belarusian, like white Russian.
Right.
So it's in that area when it was changing. Oh, you are mine.
Yeah. Have you been? You should go to Minsk and do it. Have you been to Minsk?
I've never been.
Yeah.
I should.
Yeah.
I should. I perform in Poland and Czech Republic and Romania. I love to come to Eastern Europe. Yeah. It's true what I was saying yesterday. I always feel maybe it's my Eastern European roots. I know, but I think it also is a similarity with Argentinians. I think that everything is kind of rough. Like it's okay,
edgy,
but it's
gritty.
It's there, but don't be stupid because you get mad in a fight. Or yesterday the guys they came back to the hotel and I continue going around, and I felt it was nice in the different bars and in the different clubs. How you perceive that with alcohol, everything is changing, and you could be involved in a fight, like you start feeling the shoulders or something like that. I was like, I am alone in Budapest. Maybe I have to start going back home. Anyway, so
where did you go? Where did you take them, Dave?
Well, I didn't take them anyway. I just brought my gun back because I had to fly off early this morning.
Right.
But in November, I had Mark Mayer here. And Neville Raven, and we went to that 24-hour pub that's open 24 hours a day, somewhere near Dohan, Utsa, around there.
Right.
And a fight broke out in there.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, Maya was quite drunk, and he was sort of didn't realise quite how serious it was. And we were saying, "Come on, Mark, just get your bag. We're going." And he's sort of trying to talk to a girl or something.
Chairs flying.
Yeah, exactly. Because nobody called the police or anything. It was obviously an internal thing.
Well,
Enjoyed your time here, definitely. Are there any shows you want to promote that's coming up at all?
Well, now I'm going to Cambridge and London. I'm going to New York. For now, no. If you want to follow me on Instagram, on Facebook, I have a page called The Argentinian. My website is theargentinian.com, and embracing my roots.
Right on, brother.
Thank you for having me. It was great. It was a great idea. I could have breakfast. I tried not to chew the mic.
I was hoping you would. My. Thank you for coming. We had a great time as well. Budapest loves you. We love you. And come back, please.
indeed.
I will, for sure.
Right on.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Dave,
Cheers.
you're the man.
Egg shake it.
I can shake it through. Yes. Thank you. Appreciate it.